This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
Welcome to the Stop and Listen podcast. I'm your host, Jamie.
Must have missed the memo. Well, listen, James, why don't you stop by the simulator after lunch today and give us that scare demonstration we talked about?
That's right.
Yeah.
I am drinking from my Steven Crowder Mug Club mug, which I'm not an active member in. You know, I've had some issues with the way Steven has acted on occasion. Those concerns persist. But I do respect what he does in a lot of ways. He exposed, basically the COVID czar of New York City.
Wake up, you piece of shit!
And I admit that he was having wild naked parties. Drug-fueled naked parties. And then he confronted him about it. It was really good. I mean, in yesteryear, this would change our country. This would be the top story. But it's not. Hell, the chemical attacks or whatever they suspect it might be in Arizona with the Trump attendees, that would be number one story for a while in a normal world. But these stories can't even make it up to number one.
This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains
So
me.
it's Friday. Week wasn't too bad. Wasn't great either.
Oh, and remember, next Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt
So I guess-
and jeans.
I seen this week. Okay, so we're going to start in Hollywood. The Rolling Stone posts that Queen Latifah and Will Smith will produce a biopic about her life. Wow, that's crazy. Now, it's not that if anyone's life, hopefully, is interesting at points enough to make a movie about. I mean, we're all alive for a very long period of time. I mean, some of us have done. I mean, all of us have done important enough stuff in some way, somehow, or some event in our life, or done something that it could warrant a movie. I mean, about.
It is going to take us weeks to erase the damage this film has done to our children.
But my issue here is that she's still alive. She's not that outstanding. She could have. I don't know. She could have an interesting. I don't know anything interesting about Queen Latifah at all. I don't dislike her, but her life may warrant a movie. But to produce it yourself, that is so narcissistic. And Will Smith, I guess he's got free time now. The Diddy party's over. I don't know if he was there or not. He just seems the type. I would actually be shocked if he wasn't. Now, this was from a couple weeks ago. Or a week ago. Sarah Silverman. Now, initially, what caught my eye about this is that she had comments turned off.
Hey, friend, you got a big mouth. Why don't you shut it before I take a real dislike to you?
I plan to order some Chinese food after this and eat, and this might turn my stomach. So let's
Term abortion. I think religion is fine. It's even lovely as long as it doesn't infringe on the rights and lives of others. Late term abortion, as the right calls it, comes from tragedy. I have close friends who.
That's a blatant lie. Because that's not what an abortion is. If a woman's life is on the line, that's not an abortion if you lose the child while you're saving the life of the woman. Sorry about that, folks. If you heard that was my AC running. I forgot to turn it off. Actually, I turned it down really low. 71. I don't ever go that low. And I've been keeping it higher this year. A little bit. Not as cool as I used to be.
Lost a planned pregnancy, a baby, late in her term. The doctor saw that this infant was going to struggle to live at all, was not going to be able to live free of its mother and will die. And they had to make the excruciating decision to abort. And it was heartbreaking. And it's not uncommon. They had...
No, they didn't. Okay, so she's just saying, okay, right there, see, that's different. She is saying that the child was not going to survive, supposedly. Even though you've heard those stories over and over and over again of children that weren't, going to live and ended up being Olympians or winning the Super Bowl or whatever. Like, so she's lying out. She can't, you can't be honest about this. If she was, because people would be repulsed if they're honest. Yeah, I hit my head at work this week. I never even put a Band-Aid on it. It's just gonna. And now it's scabbed up to the point where I can't even really clean it up anymore.
Picked a name. They had built a nursery. And this is what the far right call late-term abortion, as if it's a last-minute whim to terminate the pregnancy and not a heartbreaking circumstance. So yeah, the Christian right for forcing their utterly misinformed bullshit on a country that is supposedly free. Look at that.
This is how evil works, destroying everything it touches.
She is misleading. Almost everything that's coming out of her mouth is a lie. I just responded to that Nina Turner on Twitter today because she asked about, you conservatives say you like small government, but it's not very small government when you're telling women what to do with their bodies. So I look at it as protecting women, not just the child. Of course, the life of the child is far more important than their murdering mothers. But, whatever got a woman there mentally, it could be a lot of things. Culture, society. I don't know. It'd be an easier argument if I could just... the act is evil. I don't know if the woman's evil, though. A lot of times, yes, I'm sure. But I don't want them to... Killing your own child has effects on a person. If it doesn't, you're a psychopath. And I want to protect the child and the woman from doing this act it's going to change you. I don't know how, but it's going to change you. See, I wanted quick podcasts, and I'm going for 9 minutes already. Okay, so Charlie Kirk posted, retired Brigadier General Stephen Anderson says Putin will be deterred by Kamala Harris because, let's hear this.
But Kamala Harris would be just the opposite. Why? Because she's an inspiration. Not only is she positive, does she bring hope and optimism, but as a black woman, the product of a mixed marriage, she will inspire millions of people throughout the world. Our credibility as a nation, that we would be able to allow, our country is so great that we're allowed a woman like that to become the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. That
allowed a woman like that. If Donald Trump that used that language, you'd hear about it for a week.
That is going to send a powerful message all over the world. People like Vladimir Putin are going to say, hey, wait a minute. These guys, they truly have a democratic country. They truly are representative. They truly are fighting for all their people. And Kamala Harris...
That is a lie. He knows that's not true, and he's on TV lying, trying to convince the American people to vote for a person that would make us less safe. That's evil.
Harris is a manifestation of that.
Wow. Okay, so the crux of what I want to talk about today, Gavin Newsom.
Waste your time with a politician unless there's a lot.
So like a month ago, Elon shared this video, an AI video of Kamala Harris saying a bunch of ridiculous things. And, when I heard it, I didn't really care for it. But, I mean, that's the way things are going. I did not like... it's parody, yes, but, like... It's dangerous, but I certainly wouldn't want to make it illegal. That's... absolutely. But...
There are a lot of deepfakes out there. There's not a lot of disclosure. There's not a lot of labeling.
Gavin
so
Newsom.
Among the many AI bills that are on the desk are 3 specific election-related bills.
And then, do you want to sign some laws?
I just thought, why waste your time with a politician unless they're going to do something for you? There's 2.
2 are signed, and 3 are signed.
And this is now official. That is now injunctive relief if you do any of those deepfake election misrepresentations. So that's how easy it is to govern in California. There are a lot of deepfakes out there. There's not.
Did you hear what he said there? That's how easy it is to govern in California. So, making deceptive memes in which the government will define all terms are now illegal. Now, you remember this.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Yep, Tim Walz, the guy trying to be vice president.
I think it's important to indict the Russians, just as Mueller indicted a lot of Russians who were engaged in direct election interference and boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrence.
Okay, it's quite a claim there. Hillary Clinton.
They keep saying democracy's on the ballot. Believe them. I absolutely believe the Democrats. And the left-wing communists and their mouthpieces on the TV screens. But of course, Donald Trump is not the threat to democracy. Democracy is on the ballot. But it's not Donald Trump who's a threat to it. Listen to what they're saying. They're saying it. They're saying democracy's on the ballot, and then they install a candidate who no one voted for. They're telling you. They're outright telling you there's just a slight, no, it was that guy who was president and left, grumbled about it, and then now he's trying again. He's a threat. Folks, what Gavin Newsom did will be pushed nationwide if they get power. If they get power, they're not going to miss an opportunity to make D.C. a state. That would give them 2 more senators. They will never not have the Senate. Then Congress is back and forth. Then and Republicans don't have any balls to. You could do a lot with that, really, but they don't have any balls to do so. Then they'll add it to the Supreme Court. Then they will put into law what Gavin Newsom did nationwide. It'll be over. The thing that the TikTok ban, they're going to use that to go after Elon. I knew that from moment one. I was shocked that anyone was okay with it. I mean, anyone on the right. There was so much confusion about it. But if that makes you want to roll your eyes, then there's something wrong with you. They're importing the third world to all the Western nations. It's not just America, clearly. It's happening in Spain, in France, in England, some of the Nordic countries, the Scandinavias of the world. Some of them are resisting, but this is part of Project 2030. you flood these countries, you lose your democracy, they cede power to the UN or whatever organization is going to be ruling us, the World Economic Forum, and it's over. Like, come November 7th, I'm very religious now, but this podcast will probably be deleted. I will probably just get off Twitter if Trump is kept out of the White House, and I will read my Bible, and that'll be my life. Because otherwise, there's no point in putting myself out there saying the things I say, until I say that outrageous things. But it's damn serious, folks. It's damn serious. So a couple of things I want to finish on. I came across this. I don't know when this happened. I don't know if this just happened or not. All right, let's look at this. Okay, when I watched this, I didn't listen to it with music. I'll just turn that off. Okay. Goes to shake man's hand, puts his hand on his arm. His friend immediately, what? Okay, a little cozy. And then he rubs his arm. Guy looks down. His aide, what the? That could be 10 years old. I don't know. It's still funny. Donald J. Trump posted, fight, fight, fight. I thought about doing like something like Tim Pool does. He says, every like equals one, fight, fight, fight. He says that helps. So like equating a like to something. Like, I like that. The way it sounds. I don't know what to say. I decided after watching Am I Racist, which is a phenomenal movie. It's so funny. I want to be involved with the Daily Wire. I dreamed of making movies. I used to write scripts. I've written a book. I've got another book started. I haven't worked on them for a while. That's I want to be in creation. I'll do this, but I'd like to work on other projects as well. Having to stop and do the ad reads, that would really hate that idea. Because sometimes I just can't stand it. Sometimes it's smooth, and sometimes it's just you're into a story, and then Ben Shapiro's talking about sheets. Dude. Anyway, democracy's on the ballot, folks. And then this one here. Olympic judo champ suspended 5 months for making sign of the cross after match. Right there. Look at that, folks. Punished for that. I mean, that wasn't here in this country, but would you be surprised if that happened next month? Would you be surprised if the NFL came out next month or next week, tomorrow, and say any type of mention of religion having to do with anything NFL will be a 1 week suspension? We could do it tomorrow. That's how close we are, folks. Okay. 24 minutes right now. Let's see how much I can edit this down. I usually cut about a third off. I don't think so. I think I did pretty good this time. Got a few more minutes off. You guys have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon. I've made it my slogan or my trademark thing. I like it. Fits this week. So, people, the Lord spoke the world into existence. What do you do with your voice? Because that voice could wind you up in prison in some parts of the world, parts of this country. Ain't gonna get any better. So, I'll see you next time.
I'd say that was a pretty successful broadcast.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!